Lord willing, this is edifying, straight to the point. See the title of the lesson? She uttereth her voice in the streets. That's the man of the Lord, and it's not just only Saturday, right? It's whenever that spirit or that drive draw them in to go out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, let alone even doing sit downs. You know, we're here to edify the sheep. But I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same spirit, Lord willing, as a whole, those that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word that you could all continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Aquaf, the sister of this faith and this truth, Lord willing, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, this edifying lesson through the Spirit. This is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the opening of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? In the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. Turn you at my reproof, hold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Right? Day in, day out, week in and week out. Yahweh Shem Shai is pouring his spirit in four corners of the earth, man. Brothers is teaching you every point for point in the scriptures, right? It could be times like, right, brothers don't even know what they're going to go into and they just flow in the spirit. It all goes into edifying, man, right? Lining up the wisdom, right? Lining up the understanding throughout the Bible to feed the sheep, to have them prepared, to warn them, right? When you go into Ezekiel 33, right? This is something that we have to constantly do. Not when we feel like you gotta constantly do, right? This is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is Ezekiel 33 and 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people, right? You could look up the Strong's definition, right? Teach even goes into warning, right? The men of the Lord are here to warn you, to teach you, right? Of the sword coming, right? It says he blow the trumpet and warn the people. When whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul, right? This is about going out and teaching, and this is about receiving what's being said, right? You got to go through the whole Bible. If we just hop into the New Testament, you got to understand where is they referencing? Where is Paul referencing this from? Where's Yahweh? What is Yahweh Shai speaking about? Where he get this from? If he's speaking about Isaiah, or he's speaking about Hosea, or he's speaking about in a time of leaving Egypt, right? This is a history book, but the men of the Lord have to decode it, right? They gotta go in there and get the puzzles, get the mysteries, and feed it unto you, like symbolic to Second Ezra, the 14th chapter, right? Leave some openly or publicly for those that are worthy and unworthy, but keep the 70 last and only give it to the wise. The wise is the ones that's bringing forth the secrets. And the secrets is only revealed unto them that truly fear the Lord, right? So the sword is coming, man. Esau is about to show his true self, right? Just like what I have in my spirit when I want to go into camp is that the rulership mindset. We see things going on, but it's time to be thinking on the kingdom, man. This is what's gonna keep you staying, keeping your eyes single on the task at hand. Okay, to just to finish this out, Let me see, which one was we? Oh, verse 6, it says, if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. Right? If we're not telling you about the insurrection in Second Ezra, we're not telling you about Jacob's trouble, we're not talking about America being new, if we're not talking about the 2/3, what we're not warning you. And the Lord is going to require our blood in the end. I'm no, hell no. I'm about to get the blood off my hands. I'm going to feed, right? Regardless if you hear or forbear, right? Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. This is Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, starting at verse 16. No, I'm going to read verse 11 first. It says, and go and get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them and tell them, thus saith Yahweh Shemel Shai power, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, right? We're supposed to be teaching this word regardless if they receive it or if they don't. The message has to go out. The warning has to go out. No, nobody can't say that they wasn't warned. But say if we're not out here teaching the word, we're not out here going to the highways and byways, we ain't doing sit downs. Somebody can say, I never seen you outside, right? But we have a job to do. What? Drop it down to 16. And it came to pass at the end of 7 days that the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. This is a warning from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Mercy unto those that truly believe that the Lord is about to show his hand. Right? This is not the time to lollygag. This is not the time to be soaked on a bread and circus with sports, entertainment, being distracted. Right? You want to see what these men that you call weird or they wearing a blanket. You want to hear what they talking about. Yes, it's deep, but the things that they talk about, it requires for you to shut up and actually absorb what they saying and then go research for it. But we'll be ready to be a student, to be a doctor, right? To pursue a career, might not get the career, right? We're willing to go do that, but you ain't willing to go to pursue the kingdom. You ain't willing to pursue the kingdom, man. Right? The kingdom is not on your mind. Like, what's the classic? In Matthew, the 6th chapter. This is Matthew chapter 6, in verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Right? This should be the main thing every man and woman should be searching for. Seeking the kingdom of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? Seeking what pleases Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Seeking order. Right? Seeking what prophecies is going to is about to be fulfilled. Right? Because if you want the Lord to come, you should be having a delight to hearing these prophecies, hearing these end time. Oh, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Right? Just like what Yahweh Shai told the Pharisees in Matthew the 16th chapter. This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 1. And the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desire him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye discern the signs of the time? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Right? Even in the time of Yahushai, they was desiring a sign, right? But they couldn't even understand the sign of Yahushai, right? So in this time, you got to really understand what time you living in, what nation you is, what's the Heavenly Father's name, what is Son's name, right? Who is the elect? What is the non-elect? Basically, what is the attribute of the elect? What's the attribute of the non-elect, right? Who is the Edomites of today, right? Because the man of sin is supposed to be revealed, right? As a believer, these are things you want to know. You want to know who is the son of Yahweh. Who is he? What he came to do, right? How serious this truth is, right? Is we supposed to, oh, all praise the Lord and have no understanding? Is we supposed to be lost in the damn sauce thinking we know what we believe in, right? You supposed to be investigating, right? You supposed to, like what he said, St. John, the 4th chapter, right? If you a true worshiper, man, St. John, the 4th chapter, the men on the highways and byways is trying to warn in all aspects, not just in one angle, in all aspects, right? Trying to feed the sheep wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This is St. John chapter 4, verse 22. It says, ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. The Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Right? A true worshiper is going to worship him in spirit and in truth. In the spirit that you worship in the Lord, of course, is inwardly, but that spirit goes into wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right? How are you going to even understand the ways of the Lord if you're not dabbling in to these scriptures, man? Right? To be spiritual is to be somebody that's not of this world. Right? To be spiritual is to be able to have a control of your anger. To be spiritual is to be able to be at work and wherever you at, to be at peace with all men. To be spiritual is to grow and elevate. Like, of course, one moment we were harsh and rough, but now the more that we grow, we understand that this is only for the elect, right? And you worship the Lord in spirit, right? How you mortifying the things of the flesh, right? You making sacrifices, right? Even more, you know, you being more diligent, right? Because to worship the Lord is spirit and truth. If it comes to truth, it's the word. You living your life in truth, right? Everything is revolved. If it comes to a situation with your wife or your child, the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is there, right? This truth. Your life exists around truth. Your life exists around the spirit, the way that you think and how you move, right? Your inward thoughts. I'm not thinking of murder, right? Yes, I know I might be thinking of a desire of a woman, right? But at the end of the day, in the spirit, right, we all know you're going to start to quote scriptures. What did Solomon say? This is all vanity. It's all useless. I can have all the women in the world, but then in the end, what if that woman don't want to cleave to Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Yo, I rebuke that in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I don't even need that, because you seeing what's going on, right? To be spiritually, to be serving the Lord spiritually and in truth, right? It's different from what the world is giving us, man, right? For brothers to want to be fathers, right? Brothers is applying the law, statutes, and commandments, the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Yahushai in their household. Women are applying the wisdom, knowledge of a wife or a woman or a helpmeet into her house. Okay, now you're showing a true worshiper of Yahweh Shem Shai, and you're bringing the name of Yahweh Shem Shai in your house, right? You're praying to Yahweh Shem Shai. You're making moments where you fasted, right? You're examining yourself. Somebody that's spiritual and of this truth is examining themselves, right? Let me get this real quick. It made me think. Actually, let me get this one, because we just said that. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves. Know that Yahweh Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. In the spirit, right? If you are a true worshiper of Yahweh Shem Shai, you're going to examine yourself. You're going to sharpen yourself up. You're going to take accountability. This is not enough. It's not enough. I need to do more, right? As a prophet, right? What do you do more? You're examining the sheep. You're telling, yo, Yahweh Shema Shai, they not listening. But please allow these words that I am bringing forth to go to those that do want to hearken. Sometimes you ain't seeing them, you know? Sometimes this truth is like speaking to a wall, but it's really through the spirit. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is doing the heavy lifting, right? You might think you ain't even doing nothing, but that video going on YouTube, the Lord is sending it and having people go across come across your video and watch it. It's not about us. It's about teaching about Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. It doesn't matter what you bring out in this word, right? Wisdom is crying out in the midst of the streets, right? Let me go back to that. I'm about to end because we about to go. I'm about to start a camp. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. It says, "Wisdom crieth without; she uttereth her voice in the street." Right? Wisdom is the men of the Lord that's crying out in the midst of the streets. Right? Matthew the 24th chapter. We trying to bed the sheep, right? We calling you by name. We calling you to the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? When you go to Matthew 22, real quick, this is something that we should be knowing. Like, why is these men on the corner? This is something you hear every week, right? And I'll, sometimes try to do a lesson or a live on it, right? To encourage the sheep to know, look, this is a sign what the Lord said that the men of the Lord was doing at that time and the men of the Lord was going to do again. What is drawing the men of the Lord to go out to the highways and byways? Because wisdom crieth out in the streets. It's the spirit of wisdom that is moving these men. Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. Wisdom is a moving motion. The men got to go out to the highways and byways and bid the people to the marriage. Matthew chapter 22, verse 7. It says, "But then the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their cities. Then he saith to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which are bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out to the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests." Right? We plant and we water, but the Lord gives the increase. The Lord is going to divide. The angels, the reapers, are going to divide. Matthew 13, the reapers are going to divide. Right? Because if they pluck us up now, they're going to pluck up the tares and the wheats, right, together. Right? The Lord is going to separate us. Let alone the chosen is going to actually be known. Okay? But if you not listen to the men that's uttering their voice, how you going to understand Yahweh Shai? How you going to understand Yahweh Shai was spoke? Yahweh Shai was there. Yeah, through the Spirit, he was guiding us, right? How you going to know that this whole thing is centered around Yahweh Shai? How you going to understand that you're actually under grace because of Yahweh Shai, but that doesn't mean don't keep the law? Right? The law is your custom, the way that you live. You should be applying that. You should be applying faith. You should be applying consistency. Right? You should be hearing somebody telling you how to move, which way to go. If you believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you should believe in that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has prophets still. Okay? They're out here to bid you to the name of Yahweh Shai. They're out here to call you. You Black, Latino, Natives, Americans, you are God's chosen people, man. And they're going to go through the history. They're going to go through the dark sayings. They're going to go through the parables. They're going to go through the prophecies. But the only thing you got to do is have a readiness mind to hear the word like the people of Berea. Okay? This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 24. I gotta go. Salaki. It says, "Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded." The Lord, for every individual, the Lord been stretching out his hands. And some of us been swatting it out. Oh, no, I don't need it. I don't care. Everybody's going to have be held accountable, right? It's either you was receiving it, you taking what's being said, or you ignoring it, or you're like, nah, I don't need it. I don't want to hear it. You're being marked, right? The Lord is analyzing every last one of us, man. Right? The men of the Lord is about to perform, man. They're about to teach this word on the highways and byways. Lord willing, you take heed and you listen, regardless, whatever the lesson is. That's the main point. The main point, wisdom is being uttered out in the street. Doesn't matter what's coming out. You should want to go hear it. This is top secret. This is top information, man. I want to give all praises and glory to Yah. Howell, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elders of great millstone. Mighty Shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit, Lord willing, as a whole, that we all continue in sound doctrine. Again, the main point of this was just, really pushing that, Jake, if you is watching, whoever you is, the men of the Lord going out to the highways and byways. The other channel that we have on here is 716 or GMS 716 100% Truth. I think it's connected on my community, so you can look on this channel. But if you are a believer, know this is the spirit of the Lord is on the earth, especially throughout the week. But Saturday, you see a multitude of brothers going out to the highways and byways and trying to bid the people to the marriage, right? Go watch the men of the Lord teach this word. Go learn something, man. So, shalom, shalom, abad, babal.